Welcome to the Flore Fantasy and Sci-Fi Lore. Today our episode is going to be diving into the DC Animated Universe Justice League War. Here we are going to explore the first connecting of the heroes to the point that none of them even think Batman exists. So as we dive into the New 52 universe, we're going to explore how they come together to fight Darkseid, some of the relationships that evolve out of this, and how they're very different from some of the other standard DC universes. And so if you want to know more about that, stick around. We will be talking about the DC Animated Universe movie, Justice League War. So if you don't want spoilers, maybe watch that first and then come back here for your lore dive. For our regular listeners, we are currently experimenting with changes in our release times and dates. So the episodes will be coming out different days of the week, different times during those days, as we kind of explore looking for a better way to optimize our downloads and listens. If you have an opinion on this, we would love it. Do you want them Friday morning to get you hyped for something to check out that afternoon? Or would you prefer them maybe on a Saturday? You could watch one of the movies or the shows we're talking about on the show Friday night, and then check out an episode Saturday morning as you're getting off. Give us some of your thoughts and opinions. Right now, we just have data to look at. But with that said, let's roll the intro.
Do you remember the first story that was so spellbinding that it drove you to break the rules and stay up all night? To keep reading, keep listening, keep playing? So good you forgot your life and lived there?
So good that the moment it ended, you asked yourself, what next?
Welcome to the Flore. Our goal is to take you back, take you deeper, to explore and understand more, and relive that childlike wonder.
Join us as we dive deep into humanity's greatest stories, no matter how they are told, through books, movies, television, even games.
One of us does an in-depth research on our topic. One of us is familiar with the topic.
And one of us knows nothing. So the right questions will always be asked and will be addressed for anyone coming into the topic, regardless of how much you know.
Enjoy another world, another adventure, another spellbinding story. Join us on the Flore.
Welcome, everybody. We are diving back into the DCAU, DC Animated Universe.
It's not animated?
It's not animated. It's not an animated show. It's 16 movies that are connected to each other in the universe. And we're just going over them together chronologically. Great movies. There's another 20 movies on HBO in the DC universe, but those are spinoffs. So these 16 are all cohesive. So if you haven't already, check out our episodes introducing the DC world and our episodes on the Flashpoint Paradox, and then come back to here. Because this one, we're going to be talking about Justice League War. Joe, what did you think of the movie?
So I thought it was good. Now, I mean, there's a lot that I feel like there's a huge backstory that I don't know going in. Because when you start with Justice League War, the first thing that kind of jumps at me is like, wait, what's going on? Is they don't know each other, right? Most of the superheroes think Batman is a myth. They don't even think he's a real person, right? They think he's made up.
Oh yeah, they think he's like an urban legend.
Yeah. Like at one point they're like, and that's Batman. Be like, wait, Batman is real? Be like, yeah, that's
that
him
happens
right
multiple times. So yes, the first scene,
multiple times, people are like, Batman is real.
the first part of the movie is in Gotham, and you get introduced to parademons. If you guys have seen Justice League, the live action. In theaters that came out a couple years ago, you'll know what parademons are. If not, they're aliens that are abducting people. And so you see this happening in Gotham. Green Lantern comes in to stop them, and then you see Batman show up as well. And Green Lantern looks at him, and he's just like, "You're real?"
Yeah. Yeah, multiple people are surprised. And then there is a kind of a territory thing, right? Like I think it's Superman when Green Lantern and Batman show up to Superman, and they're like, "Hey, this is my territory." And so it's a really interesting spin in that,
as we step into this alternate, this post Flashpoint world, they don't know each other. They don't get along. They just kind of, everybody marks their territory and everybody stays in their lane.
Batman literally tells Green Lantern, Gotham's mine, stay out of Gotham.
And then Superman has Metropolis.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So the two you meet first is Batman and Green Lantern, and they meet each other for the first time. And Green Lantern fanboys a little bit, and Batman couldn't care less. And so, but Green Lantern's flipping between fanboying and yelling at Batman. So there's a scene where they're like chasing a parademon into the sewers, and Green Lantern's like, "Oh, looks like someone forgot to take their true blood tonight," like because he thought he has like vampire powers. And Batman's just like, "I'm not a vampire." It's like, what do you mean? Like, what are your powers? Like, can you fly? It's like, no. It's like, wait, are you just some rich like guy? Don't tell me you're just some guy in a suit, right?
It's just some guy in a suit. Yeah.
And so Green Lantern goes off on this monologue, like freaking out, and then you see Batman just go, "What's this thing do?" And he's holding Green Lantern's ring. He just steals it from him while Green Lantern's distracted. And then Green Lantern turns his suit goes away and he turns into just normal pilot boy because he has his pilot outfit on, and he gets mad at Batman for stealing it. And he's just like, "You won't do that again." And Batman being Batman goes, "Unless I want to." So that's those two meeting, and then they chase this parademon. They find this
and just to be clear, is this Bruce now?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Bruce.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the Flash has returned, but things are different, right? Like, because in the world the Flash leaves for Flashpoint, the Justice League exists. In the world he comes back to, all the heroes are heroes and good guys, but there is no Justice League.
They have not unified.
Yeah. They haven't even met.
Yeah. So then, like Joe said, they go to interrogate the only alien they know about this alien technology, and that's Superman. In Metropolis. So they go there, and obviously they all start fighting because that's just how heroes need to meet. It's like when you go meet a new person, you handshake them. Heroes punch each other in the face.
Well, but it makes sense because they have this alien tech, and they go to the only alien they know, Superman. And Superman, who has fought a few parademons by this point, recognizes parademon technology and assumes they are with the parademons, right? Like, it makes perfect sense why they start fighting.
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they take this piece of technology from the parademons to Superman. And he was fighting parademons too. So he saw them with it and was like, "Okay, you're going to get beat up." And they're like, "Oh, you're an alien. We need to question you about this stuff."
Yeah. So it is, I guess, in a sense, there is a mystery they're trying to solve with the parademons here. And
why are they abducting people?
Why are they abducting people? I don't know.
Great question.
Well, that's part of the mystery of the show, right? They're trying to solve why are they abducting people.
Yep. So then we're going to be introduced to a couple other people, heroes, you might call them. Flash, you see him working in a forensics lab. So that's kind of his backstory. He's working with Dr. Stone.
Which one's Dr. Stone?
So Dr. Stone works at Star Labs. So the Flash is heavily connected to Star Labs, I think, wherever you go. So Dr. Stone is then, of course, Cyborg's father, Vic Stone, right?
And lead researcher on alien technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you'll see throughout this, you'll see Victor Stone's backstory as well, because he becomes Cyborg in the course of this movie. And you'll see the Flash and his interactions with Dr. Stone. And then we'll also see Billy Batson. Do you know who that is, Eli?
I recognize that name, but no.
So Billy Batson is a kid that when he says a magic word, he turns into a
Shazam!
There it is. Yeah. And so you see him sneaking around. He actually sneaks into Vic Stone's football game to watch him win. So he's like a huge fanboy for Victor Stone, because Victor Stone's a really
We see the form of Shazam in the Flashpoint Paradox, but it's a group of kids, right?
Yes, that's true. So Yeah, we're not going to get into all that, but in that universe, it's a group of kids that become.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to tie it all back together.
Yeah,
We still
you're
get
doing good.
Shazam.
And I'm trying not to go too in depth. So that's how Billy Batson and Victor Stone see each other for the first time. But that's also how the Flash and Victor Stone are connected, because Flash is Star Labs and Victor Stone's dad is Star Labs.
Gotcha.
And then we see Wonder Woman as well. And Joe, what'd you think of Wonder Woman?
I mean, she's in a very different role. Like, apparently she has been plucked from her island rather recently on a diplomatic mission, has little understanding of the modern world and modern technology. So
Okay. So she's fresh out of the
she's just
Amazonian nation.
yeah.
Like, I fight for justice, like plain and simple. She's like 1950s or 1960s Wonder Woman in a not 1950s, 60s world.
Yes.
More modern day world, maybe a little.
Yeah.
future.
So like the scene is like everybody's like, there's a bunch of people protesting around a car she's in, and she's like, who are they protesting? I will fight for them. And she turns around and sees that they're protesting her.
Yes.
So that's an interesting one, because she's kind of just out of touch, but she just fights. She's a fighter. She's not diplomatic at all.
Yeah, I think both probably the two most powerful heroes, Wonder Woman and Superman, in this new universe, they're really reduced to just the fist and the hammer. You know, they are the weapons, but they don't do a lot of deep thinking about what's going on.
Yes, that's why I think Batman is so imperative, especially in this universe.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does.
Yeah, like in I guess what we're talking about here is the New 52. Like, Batman is the brain of the Justice League, right?
He's a scary brain because
he doesn't bring superpowers to the table, but without him, they really couldn't solve problems. They just smash stuff. There's a very Hulk vibe to Superman.
Yeah,
problems, smash it.
Yeah. Superman has some like more thought behind him than Hulk, but he's not a Batman thinker.
Yeah.
I would say he's not even a Flash thinker, because Flash is actually super creative in his powers and how he uses them.
All right, he was able to go manipulate time. You don't see that coming.
Yeah, and other things. So if you remember because you watched the Flashpoint Paradox, right?
Correct.
Like when he gets stuck and Zoom makes him get stuck, and he learns he does that one thing to make Zoom get stuck with him.
Yeah, he melts the stuff down enough. He's never going to get rid of it, but he's able to pin him down as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Flash does those kind of things all the time.
Yeah. He's more than happy to sacrifice himself.
Well, he's just creative.
Yeah.
But yeah, that too.
All right. So Aaron's been telling us about Justice League War. Is that correct?
That's what I thought I was telling you about.
Making sure I got the title right.
Yeah,
and so this is after Flashpoint Paradox, and the world has turned back to normal. Ish, not really. All the superheroes have kind of taken their own territories. I feel it's kind of like a barren situation. And talking about how Batman is a scary brain, how they're fighting these aliens, and it's a big mystery of why are they doing body snatching, talking to Superman about it, and how Superman and Wonder Woman are more just blunt objects to smash things with, and a much more different story. And I feel like Flashpoint gave us a completely alternate story, and it's like, and we're going to undo all that, but this is what launches. Now we're stepping into what the DCAU will be, and who the characters are in this world, in this universe.
A lot of them are just starting out. The Flashpoint Paradox, it was them at the height of their powers in that specific universe.
Yeah.
Whereas here, they're giving you a fresh slate. So you like saw what they'd be like, corrupt and evil, except Superman, who just sat in a cell for forever. No wimp. But like all of them, like they've been fighting and like been in battles.
I feel like Flashpoint Paradox, in the very open, we see the Justice League fully formed, developing an efficient machine as they shut everything down. Then it moves to them as evil or self-interested in throughout the story of Flashpoint Paradox. And now Flash has kind of reset things, and we're kind of, for some of the heroes like Cyborg, this is we see the origin story itself unfold. And for the rest of them, they're new to this enough that they haven't connected and built a network to, work together.
This feels like everyone's starting off with a level 1 character again.
Yeah.
Except Superman.
Well, a level 1 Superman.
Level 1 Superman.
Yeah, a level 1 guy who starts out at level 20.
I don't know if you've ever played an unbalanced system. Rifts is a great example of this, but you can have a level 1 Superman and a level 1 dude. Like,
A level 1 dude.
who knows karate.
All right. Well, that sounds like Batman. But he has a 99 in determination, so he still might win.
And a little bit over 99 in his bank account.
Yes, a lot more. He has the infinity symbol for that.
That's kind of how I felt when we played Cyberpunk. I meet up with Aaron, and he's got all this money. Like, I don't have any money. I don't know, kinds of weird stuff for money, and you just have it.
Yeah,
but you had an assault rifle, which came in handy.
Yeah, that too. We never actually released that episode.
I guess that's true.
So people are gonna be like, "What are you talking about? When did that happen?"
Yeah,
it was in an alternate reality, guys.
Yeah, no.
It happened in the future past.
Yeah, the past future. All right, so we're getting back into it. Everybody's kind of resetting here, so we're going to kind of just go through that real quick. Victor gets mad. His dad didn't show up, so he goes and yells at him and interrupts the tests and kind of like breaks the test mid-test, and it kind of bonds with him as parademons explode, and it's just not a good fiasco. And so they end up hooking him up to some alien healing tech that like melds him to the super advanced tech that was already in him, plus the healing tech. So he becomes cyborg. It's really confusing and it's hard to explain.
Well, you have the parademon tech, which was trying to take over him and turn him into a parademon. And then you had the alien healing tech, which...
So back up real quick. Time out. So to answer your question, Eli, the reason that humans are being abducted is because they get taken to this place, they get infected by this parademon tech, or apocalyptic tech, technically, is what it's called, and then it turns them into parademons.
Yeah,
that's what you learn.
So
literally.
So in the experiment
to Victor.
So what happens at Starlab is the parademon infects him and is beginning to convert him into a parademon. To stop this process, Dr. Stone performs an experiment using alien tech that he doesn't fully understand, but is convinced is the only thing that can save his son. So that merge of these two very advanced pieces of technology stops Victor from becoming a parademon, but he is mid-transformation and he has this other piece of alien tech in him, and that kind of trio of things becomes Cyborg. Right.
Okay.
He can now access any technology, and his apocalyptic tech / the other alien tech that bonded together with him can read basically anything. It's you know how in D&D you can read a bunch of languages. He just accessed all.
Yeah. So he's got like the internet of the universe in his head.
Oh, not of just what he can access.
Well, so apocalyptic tech can access most things because the apocalyptic tech is Darkseid's tech. And all the tech they have, they've taken from conquering worlds. So it gets better as they conquer more worlds, right?
Right.
The other tech, the other alien tech, they've also got a lot of knowledge. So those two together had so much knowledge from researching and overtaking so much. There are a few things that Cyborg wouldn't know,
right?
But he doesn't know everything.
Yeah, the story I'm used to with Cyborg is he was in an explosion and his mom dies in the explosion, and his dad has to emergency put this tech that he was working on and developing, and it was all his own creation. And what's different here is it was an infection, so I'm guessing his mom didn't die.
His mom's not even here.
Okay,
So
she's just still
already
absent, but for a different reason.
already dead, probably.
Okay,
She's not even a part of the equation.
hasn't brought up in this one. Okay,
Yeah, so
all right.
so he, because of Apocalypse being a newer addition to the DC universe, that is Cyborg's reboot, basically.
Okay,
So that's Cyborg's origin.
all right.
We covered him pretty well. Wonder Woman's origin is she got plucked as a diplomat, put in America, and was supposed to be talking to other diplomats.
Yeah.
Oh, hers is actually pretty cool though, because she's supposed to go meet with the president, and the president's on Air Force One, and then it gets attacked by parademons. So she flies up there and saves him,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
which is pretty cool because then instead of having to do diplomatic stuff, which she doesn't like, she gets to fight.
Yeah, and she's not good because it doesn't make sense there. She's like, I just fight things like for justice.
Yeah, I don't talk about fighting things. I fight them. And so she goes up there. They start taking down the ship. It starts crashing. Superman comes up, also helps out. They meet each other. She hasn't met a lot of men on females only island. So meeting a dude that compares to her in physical attributes, she's like, oh, dang.
When you say females island, is it Amazonia?
Themyscira, I think, is the capital, but she is an Amazonian. I think they technically have male slaves, so there are some males, but saying Superman is pretty cool for her. She's like, oh, like an actual man. So that's how they meet. Then they start joining together, right? So everyone starts converging after Batman and Green Lantern and Superman all meet up. So they all start conjoining and meeting together. And so it kind of shows that, like, no matter what happens, like, the Justice League is still needed. So you're seeing this unit form.
But very quickly, Superman is captured, and they are trying to convert him into a parademon. So what happens here is they attempt to fight off Darkseid and his parademons. But the problem is that even though they have now met and recognized they have to work together, they don't work together. Mm-hmm. They're so used to being a solo act that it doesn't work, right? Like, I mean, it's the basic concept you see in a lot of like sport movies, right? You have the big superstar who doesn't play well with the rest of the team. And in a team sport, no matter how big your superstar is, it just doesn't work, right? Like there's the other side has a whole team. And so Batman recognizes we need Superman. Not only do we need him, we also need them not to have him on their side, right? Mm-hmm. So Batman puts Hal in charge. He'd be like, you got to make this a team. Make them work together. I got stuff to do.
And he just ends up, he takes off his mask, he puts on his coat, and he just gets captured.
Yes. Yeah. Batman intentionally gets captured so he can go find Superman. But the funny thing is, like, Hal Gordon really is not a fan of Batman. He's just like
Jordan.
Yeah. But Green Lantern, he's not a fan. He's constantly complaining about Batman. And then when he isn't put in charge of kind of taking charge of all these superheroes and getting them to work together, he's like, I sound just like him. It's a great moment where he realizes, like, Batman is not that way because he's a difficult person. Batman is that way because he has to be in charge.
We need results.
Yeah.
If nobody else is going to make sure we get results, then I have to.
Yeah.
So that's why Batman's just, stuff needs to get done. We need to protect the entire of Earth because we are being attacked by aliens that we don't understand.
Yeah.
We can't sit down and just try and be arrogant and show off and showboat. We just need to win.
But it becomes really clear, like, how without any powers, how absolutely important to the team Batman is in recognizing all of the goals that have to be met along the way and how to reach them and, delegating assignments. Like, without them, Darkseid conquers the world, he conquers this world like he has conquered all others before. But Batman identifies the problem, sees the pieces need to solve it, and then delegates out the different things to the heroes who need to do those things so that everything can come together. Like you see, particularly Wonder Woman and Superman, unbelievably powerful, but without Batman to set up the plan and orchestrate and organize everything, they are just as
no match for Darkseid and his army.
Yeah, no match for Darkseid and his army.
It kind of surprised me that they're doing Darkseid this early. Like,
I was super surprised
a
by
mega
that too.
villain, you know.
But it really feels like they choose such a mega villain because that's what forces them to become a team. Right.
The reason they weren't a team before is they never needed to be.
They didn't. Yeah, exactly.
So there was this one time when me and Joe were playing Conan Exiles together, and we were in the unnamed city, which is already a pretty hard place to be. And it was nighttime, and Joe decided to jump off a ledge into a pit with like 60 bad guys. And by the end of that, nothing terrified us anymore. So
I mean, really come together on that one.
Like, well, we either survive by working together or we die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's kind of what Justice League. That's what Justice League War feels like.
Okay,
we have to it's really cute. Shazam is a 15-year-old boy who looks like a full adult man when he becomes Shazam. He sees Wonder Woman and he tries to show off because he's a 15-year-old boy and she's this Amazonian princess. Like, come on, dude. As she's like, stop acting like a child. You are a warrior. Act like a warrior.
Yeah. So I think it is a really good choice in a villain to force them to come together. So
and then here's where we see, I don't know if this scene happened before or after Superman was captured, but you get to see how clever Flash is because Darkseid, he can shoot lasers out of his eyes that just follow anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can even like shoot stuff behind him. So one of the beams follows Flash and one follows Superman. Flash is outrunning it and he ends up running through a bunch of parademons and the beam burns itself out, killing like 20 parademons.
Yeah.
Mm.
Super crafty. Whereas Superman just tries to outfly it and ends up getting shot.
Okay.
And so you see that difference because they're about the same speed when Superman's flying and Flash is running.
They've had a couple races.
Yeah. Not yet, but in
this universe. Yeah.
So Batman gets abducted on purpose to go save Superman. He goes in. So he flies in, he gets dropped in, and he immediately escapes. Because
went in with an escape plan.
Yeah, he went in as Batman, which
Bruce Wayne. He
correctly translated means went in with an escape plan.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes in as Batman. He escapes and he goes up and he finds, I don't even know what you would call that guy. Just the guy who is.
I guess he was the techie, right? He was running the tech.
He's also like torturing Superman and doing the process to make him a parademon.
Are they using just raw alien tech here, or are they using kryptonite?
No, it's whatever tech they have that converts people into parademons. They're using it on Superman.
But his willpower and his strength and stamina and all those stuff
they need to do it in a special place. Yeah.
And amplify it. And it takes longer.
Okay.
And so with like normal people, you can do it pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Superman, they got to have this advanced techie dude doing this whole stuff. And so Batman comes in and he fights with this guy. And obviously it's a close fight in no ways because he just absolutely beats up this nerd. And then you get to see Batman being really smart. He's like, he attacked me with his right hand, so that means the power is here. And
I do remember that. It's like he was attacked me. Yeah, he swung with my left. That makes it his right. So then that's how he set up the controls.
Like, so that's power's there.
Yeah,
and you're just like, are you kidding me? Like that's so clever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Superman comes out, and he's still a little psycho. He's psychosis.
Oh,
pretty fair.
Cyber psychosis.
But yeah, and so then they're able to get the plan to come together and fight off Darkseid. But yeah, it is a good way that forms the Justice League. I think it was really well thought out.
The way they end up taking out Darkseid is pretty clever too. But we won't tell you that one, so you can watch it and be surprised.
Yeah,
sounds good.
This is so Flashpoint Paradox is really the launch of the New 52. And diving into that. And so we don't have any more time in this episode. We are going to do a short to kind of walk you through what is New 52, what was 52, and what came before that to kind of help you understand all these diverse universes in the DC world. Stay tuned for the short. We will be releasing it. Thanks for listening.
leave us a review. Tell us why you like listening to us. Is it our awesome deep dives? Is it our amazing back and forth? Is it our charming good looks?
What would you like us to add or change? You can put that in the review as well. We read reviews.
Yeah, and if you're going to be leaving us a review telling us what you like about it, maybe you even want to share the content with your friends. Like and share on social media. You can join us on Twitter and Facebook. We post memes. And we actually started a Discord, so come play with us.
So a lot of the worlds we cover have a retcon. If you're not familiar with that term, it's reconstruction. Or sometimes we might use a bad source for some of our lore research. And if that happens, feel free to email us at florefantasyandlore@gmail.com. That is Flore spelled Flore, fantasyandlore@gmail.com. And if you're angry enough, we'll read it on the air.
Yes, we will. Also, the treasure room is now available. We have locked a few secrets for everything we cover in there, and each week we add more.
And you can find the treasure room on patreon.com/Flore Fantasy and Lore. And how do you spell that, Aaron?
That's lore with an F at the beginning. So it sounds like floor, but it's not the floor you're thinking because it's our floor.
We hope you enjoyed your time on the floor. Think about your favorite part of the episode. Now, think about your nerdiest friend. Who is it? What is their name? They want to know about the floor. Stop holding out on them. Go and tell them about your favorite part.
Because all of this is more fun together.